So telematics helps improve behavior within permitted driving conditions. And then you have GDL, which reduces exposure during the riskiest periods. And that's regardless of whether they have the device in the car. But together as well, they close off the gaps that currently allow, we think, the most serious risks to occur to young drivers on our roads. I think fairness is important. I believe telematics data helps bring clarity to it. So just to explain a little bit why, from my perspective, risk is not evenly distributed across all driving. So as an example, you have a newly qualified driver on a weekday morning commute. That presents a very different risk profile to the same driver late at night with passengers as well. So GDL does not restrict all freedom in this case. What it does is it focuses on a small number of scenarios that generate the greatest harm. Telematics consistently shows that nighttime driving, we know that peer passengers and also early post-test independence are the most dangerous combinations. And I've said already, where telematics monitoring is absent, either because the driver is being, they've taken a box out of the car or the data is simply unavailable, outcomes are sadly far worse rather than better. So if you view it that way, I don't believe GDL is about mistrusting young people at all. It's about recognizing where there's risk as a community and then gradually introducing exposure to young drivers so that experience and judgment, both of those can develop safely together.
If we can try and reframe this idea of restrictions to enablement, so we're allowing people to gain more experience that is going to keep them safer, more experience that is going to keep the cost of insurance down because young people will have fewer collisions. I think as well, at the moment, it certainly feels like once you've passed, that's it. You're a good driver. We can use this opportunity perhaps to reframe that to you're now safe enough to continue learning on your own.
So telematics can absolutely play a supportive role alongside GDL rather than acting as a substitute for it. Practically, it helps monitor driving patterns, time of day exposure, also behavioral trends. It can allow for early education and, all importantly as well, intervention. It also enables positive reinforcement. Fundamentally, it shows young people's progress as they gain experience on our roads. Crucially, though, and I think, apologies to bang this drum again, but I need to stress that GDL provides a safety net where telematics data is missing. That ensures risk reduction does not rely solely on technology compliance. And again, which our severe loss data shows is a vulnerability.
In terms of the messages and the messengers, for Northern Ireland, perhaps particularly, I mean, as I've sort of alluded to, the messages should be positive, empowering, enabling, seeing where they are as a learner driver and the driving test as kind of a midpoint in the journey, not the end of the journey. And if we can get that right, I think that will go a long way. The messengers, though, are critically important. I think when it comes to parents or people that are enabling, perhaps financially or logistically, for people to learn to drive, a little bit like we see in Australia with the mobile phone legislation, parents who wanted to sort of enforce, stricter social media and mobile device controls on young people, but weren't backed up by legislation, found it hard. I think we shouldn't underestimate, this doesn't all fall to the police. There's plenty of stakeholders within immediate family that may well find this legislation useful.
But working in partnership with government, educators, institutions like Edward and families as well that have been through some of the more severe, losses that we see on our roads, insurers can help ensure GDL is proportionate, evidence-led, and supported as well by technology rather than, I think, undermined in its absence.